Rangers win, baby, 4-3 over the Minnesota Wild in a shootout. And another game where the Rangers looked like the better team and they just kind of annihilated the Minnesota Wild. Despite the final score, they kind of looked better than that. And I thought that they played a pretty much a complete game for the most part. Igor Shesterkin was a little shaky. He definitely allowed a couple soft goals in there. But for the most part, I thought the Rangers were dominant tonight. The only period that I thought they weren't really dominant in was the third. But even then, that was a pretty even period for the most part. But again, the Rangers just got unlucky at certain points in this game, and it happens. It is what it is. But we're going to talk further about it. Before we do, leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. Just got back from the game, so this might be a little bit of a quicker reaction video here. But let's talk about the game. So the first period was just absolutely weird. It was just weird in the way that the Rangers got outshot when they probably shouldn't have. The amount of posts that they hit in the first period was annoying. They beat Marc-Andre Fleury like crazy. You had Phil Petal go 5-hole on an opportunity. That slid through, and then it just didn't go into the back of the net. They had a couple opportunities in the first period, and it was infuriating. But they ended up being down 2-0 after the first period, as John Merrill ended up scoring from Eriksson Ek and Foligno. He just threw one on goal, and Igor Shesterkin didn't really pick up the sight of that puck. That's the only reason I maybe wouldn't blame Igor on that one, but the other two you definitely gotta. But yeah, I don't really know what happened there, but yeah, Rangers go down 1-0, and there was also a mountain of penalties, by the way, in the first period. You had Boldy take a penalty at the start of the game. Then you had Zuccarello take a penalty. Hedl took a penalty. It was the mountain of penalties. So we didn't even get to see anything. But I thought the Rangers in the first half of the period looked better 5-on-5, even though we barely saw it. But again, they ended up still being down 1-0. And then it would be 2-0 as Kirill Kaprizov just gets pretty much a breakaway opportunity and just snipes one past Igor Shesterkin. But that's one that Igor's got to be in a better position in. You can't let that one go through you. I think that went through on the blocker's side. Can't let that happen. He's got to be in a better position on that one. Rangers go down 2-0. And the start of the second period, they started off looking strong, and it paid off because it only took 2 minutes for K'Andre Miller to get a breakaway opportunity, fighting off the Minnesota Wild defenders, and he just snipes one past Marc-Andre Fleury. He's absolutely unreal right now, K'Andre Miller, with these goals that he's scoring. It's unreal, and you can see why this guy was a forward at one point in his career. Of course, prior to the NHL, but still. And then pretty much the Rangers just dominated the rest of the second period. There's a stupid, and I mean stupid, embellishment call during the second period as well, where I don't even remember the guy's name, but he ends up tripping Lafreniere, and they call Lafreniere for embellishment. Sure. I don't understand what the point of having both tripping and embellishment calls are there. When are we going to change the rules to make sense? Is it an embellishment or is it a trip? Call one or the other, not both. It doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. But regardless, the Rangers would end up scoring on the 4-on-4, so it basically was a power play, and it worked out as Adam Fox gets a 2-on-1 opportunity. I forgot who was with him on that rush there, but he does the smart thing, and he shoots it, and that makes it 2-2. Nearly after, or it might have been before, the Rangers almost made it a 3-2 game as Phil Petal had a 2-on-1 with Lafreniere, and they just couldn't end up connecting on that. For whatever reason, Phil Petal decided to pass that one back. I don't know. But also, forgot to mention the first period, K'Andre Miller breaking up that 2-on-1. Beautiful. Beautiful. Or it might have been the second period. Whenever it was. Third period comes around, and you guessed it, Matt Zuccarello scored, and it was pretty obvious how it's going to happen. By the way, shots in the second, 20-10 in favor of the Rangers. Yeah. But Zuccarello, he throws a weak wrister on goal, and it bounces off Igor Louis Domingue style, goes up and then in. So yeah, that was an ugly goal to let up. And The Rangers all of a sudden are down 3-2, and it took them till late in the third period to end up getting a goal, as this was a pretty lucky goal as well. And Adam Fox tries to do a nice little move around Marc-Andre Fleury on the net. It ends up going loose in the blue paint. Phil Peedle taps that one in, ties the game at 3. I thought they were going to call goalie interference or something on that one. Thankfully not. And yeah, Keandre Miller picks up the assist as well there. And that's pretty much your third period. In overtime, Rangers got a power play in there. Zuccarello took a too many men on the ice penalty, or he at least served for that penalty. I don't know who exactly took the penalty there, but regardless, they don't score in overtime for whatever reason, despite getting some quality chances. Fleury looked really shaky tonight. They could have got more off of him, in my opinion. But shootout comes along. Kakko does the Kucherov without trying to, and he ends up scoring. I'll take it. Matt Zuccarello with his beautiful move that we remember him doing with the Rangers for all these years, and he ends up getting it past Igor Shesterkin. Then Zibanejad gets denied. Kaprizov gets denied. Artemi Panarin, beautiful move to the net to score a goal. And then Gaudreau denied. And Igor Shesterkin ends up helping the Rangers get the win in the shootout, despite not having the best performance for the game. Shots in the game, 43-32 in favor of the Rangers. Face-off percentage, 57-44 in favor of the Rangers. Power play went 0-for-3. Again, I'm not happy. The power play does not look great at all lately, and it's definitely a concern. Hits, 26-19 in favor of the Wild. Yeah, Ryan Reeves threw a good amount of hits tonight, I'm pretty sure. It at least appeared that way. I remember like 2 or 3, which is still solid. Greenway actually at 7, which is ridiculous. Block shots, 29-6 in favor of the Wild. Yeah, the Wild did block a lot, but they also allowed a lot of odd-man rushes, I thought. So, interesting there. Giveaways, 5 for the Wild, 10 for the Rangers. And obviously the main concern right now, though, is Chris Kreider and Julien Gauthier. What happened? Because we did not see Gauthier from like the end of the first period on, I'm pretty sure. And I thought they were demoting Lafreniere, but it ended up being Gauthier just hurt. And then Chris Kreider departed in the third period with an injury as well. So they had to promote Lafreniere. Yeah, concerning. Gauthier only took like 1 shift in the game, pretty much. Like 1 or 2. I'm definitely concerned. Both are upper body injuries, apparently, and we'll know more tomorrow. But, man, I'm concerned. But regardless, in terms of how each player played today, I mean, I could go down the list, but I don't have any complaints about anyone, so I'm going to give you just who I thought played the best out of the list. And let's start with Keandre Miller, who had an unreal game. Keandre Miller played arguably his best game. I was tempted to say his best game, but arguably I'll say his best game of his entire career. He looked absolutely unreal tonight, breaking up that 2-on-1, made a couple other huge defensive plays for the Rangers tonight, and he ended up picking up 2 points. Yeah, Keandre Miller was an absolute beaut tonight. He looked unreal. Got to show love to him. Adam Fox, unreal night for another guy on the blue line. Loved Adam Fox tonight. 6 shots on goal, and he was the first star of the game. Rightfully so. The two of them were just absolutely unreal, and I wish we could make them a defensive pair. I wish. That'd be so fun to watch. Schneider from the blue line, too, also had a good night. Had an underrated night, I should say. Goes under the rug there with Fox and Miller having the nights that they did. But I loved Braden Schneider's night. Phil Peedle had a great night. 6 shots on goal. Only getting 1, and of course that 1 is a tapping goal. Go figure. But Phil Peedle looked great. Kreider, for the time he played, looked great. That first line was really good the entire night until Kreider got hurt. Kreider, Zibanejad, and Kakko looked really good. Zibanejad also made a nice defensive play. I think it was in the second period, I want to say, where it might have been the end of a power play there, or that might have been the end of the 4-on-4, and somebody coming out of the box. Actually, no, it was in overtime. I don't know what I'm talking about. At the end of overtime, when Zuccarello was coming out of the box. I think it was Mika that ended up making that nice little defensive play there. But regardless, he had a great game. Kakko had a great game. Kreider had a great game. Trocheck had a pretty good game as well. 8 shots on goal and doesn't end up scoring. Man, that beautiful little tic-tac-toe play with Panarin, Kravtsov, and Trocheck. If they score on that, that would have sent the Garden into a frenzy, man. That was a beaut of a passing sequence. Trocheck's got to bury those opportunities, though. He's got to next time. I don't really have a complaint with anyone except Igor, to be honest. I thought Igor was pretty shaky, which it's weird to say because usually this is the opposite, and we're talking about concerns with the rest of the team, but it is what it is. Let's get to Twitter, though. I'm sorry for keeping this one short. Just want to get things wrapped up here because I don't have much to say about the game either way, honestly. Zeus says, Jesus, if I had $100 for every time the Rangers miss the net, I could possibly pay my rent for the month. What a win, though. No quit. Let's go. I wouldn't even say no quit. I think they annihilated them. I really do. And then Toxic NYR said, thoughts, there's still no quit in New York. Like, both of you saying that, well, I agree. Yeah, but at the same time, I thought they outplayed them the entire night, to be completely honest. Thought they did. I don't really have any complaints at all for the team tonight. So, except for the missed nets, which keep happening. But yeah. New York South 24 says, Core, what a win. What a win indeed. Denisa says, that was one of the most exciting wins of the season. Honestly, if Fox and Key aren't locked in to get long-term deals after this, I'm storming the Rangers front office. And even though we had a lot of other great chances, the Rangers still have a lot of work to do with the power play, especially in overtime. They got to stop with the overpassing. Well, Fox, for that part, he's locked up already. Keandre Miller, though, yeah, he needs to get paid. He needs to get paid. Thinking 5.5, 5. Brady Shea type contract. I don't know. But I'm getting sidetracked here. But, yeah, the power play does need work. I agree. They are overpassing on the power play. Trying to do too much there, especially in overtime. I thought way too much passing on that power play, especially when it's a 4-on-3. You don't got to overdo it here. I think it was Trocheck that also almost had a tap-in goal there to end things in overtime. So, that's that. Black Dog RVA says, ugly but a win. I don't know if I agree with that. The boys willed their way to a victory, which hasn't happened enough this season. Can you imagine the chemistry Mika and Zook might have had? Good 2 points. Get better, Kreids and Gauthier. I don't know if I agree with the ugly win part. I don't know. Does anyone else feel it's an ugly win? Maybe I'm going crazy, but I didn't think it was an ugly win. And yeah, Mika and Zook would be a dream together. Maybe next year at the deadline if Minnesota could fall apart. I don't know. Wishful thinking there. But yeah, hopefully Kreider and Gauthier get better. And I can't agree with the other part, though. I didn't think it was an ugly win, to be honest with you. And then Matthew says, Fox and Miller looked unstoppable tonight. Good win. Agree. But I don't know how Kakko didn't bury that first period chance, man. Also agree there. I don't understand that at all. Just so many shaking of the head moments for the kid this year on chances like that, even though Kakko's playing better. What happened to Kreider, though? He okay? I'm not sure about what happened to Kreider. I didn't even see what happened. My friend texted me, or Nick, co-host of the podcast, you guys know, he texted me that Kreider went to the locker room. I didn't even have any clue until that text, so I don't even know what happened, but yeah, Kakko looked great. There was one point I thought he was going to do what he did in the Islander game with Barzell, and he was going to allow a breakaway the other way for trying to hold on to the puck too long and turn it over. And then Matthew also says, I saw your comment on Igor. I didn't see the third goal, but I didn't think the first two were his fault. I think the power play is getting better. Chances, they just aren't burying them, but I think they're close. I disagree there. I think that Igor had to get the first 2 goals as well, especially the second one. You could maybe argue the first, he couldn't see it and he was screened, but he does have to get that second goal. So, yeah, and the power play, I don't know if I agree there. I want to see more. I want to see more, and I want to see better on the power play. But let me know all your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. Would love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.